Okay, so today's agenda is very simple. So what we're going to do is we are going to be learning a little bit about ChatGPT and Excel. All right. So Excel is very powerful, as you know. Excel is from Microsoft, and everybody's living on it. It's a great tool to do basic calculations, accounting, etc. But we are not going to be doing Excel. I'll be using Google Sheets because I am on a Mac right now, and I would request everybody to just understand Google Sheets and Excel is everything is the same. Google Sheets is by Google. Okay, cool. So let's get started. All right. So the agenda is we're going to do, you already probably know ChatGPT, but we'll just go through an introduction. We'll do the how do you install ChatGPT or how do you log in case you have not logged in or if you've not heard about it. We'll do a simple sum. We'll look at profit. We'll look at lookup. And we'll see a few more simple functions like left and nested functions, unique, and writing some macros and wrapping that up. All right. Cool. So the first one is I made a simple Excel. This is going to be a very short session. So I made a simple Excel. And where is the Excel? Let's look at this. Okay. And in case, let's pretend you don't know Excel or Google Sheets. Okay. So how do we go about writing? And I want to add some columns. So let's look at this. Here are some markets such as United States, India, United Kingdom, Malaysia, Canada, Australia. And I want there's revenue associated with each of these revenue. Assume that I'm selling some courses. These are hypothetical numbers, and I want to add all of them. And I didn't know how to do the revenue. Okay, so let's pretend that was not there. So the way to do it is very simple. I will first log into ChatGPT. I'm already logged in here. But in case you don't know how to log in, you have to just go to Google and search for ChatGPT. And you will get chatgpt.openai.com. Just click on that and log in. That's it. It'll give you a few ways to log in. One is through Google, one is through Microsoft, and I think even via email you can do it. Okay. So I'm not going to go on how you can click and open it, but because I've already logged in. So here is the login. So now if I say, please write an Excel function to sum the rows in B2 to, let's say, B10, making an example of it. Okay. So here is ChatGPT very nicely gives you the sum. So that's sum equals B2 to B10. I will go back into my document and B2 to B7. Let's just change that. All right. So it's given the sum as 1.9 billion. Okay. Here, that is the sum. So let's double check that. Yeah, it's gotten all of this. So I went to chat, assume that I didn't know the function's syntax or the code, or in this case, just the function. Go to ChatGPT, check what it is, and then come back here. Cool. Next, let's look at something else. Let's look at the next prompt. What do we have? Now you want to say, okay, I didn't know how the function works. You can just simply say, can you please explain how this function works? Yeah, so it's very nicely set here. The sum function in Excel is used to add up a range of numbers. In case you want the sum of the values in the range B10 or B2 to B10, which means you want to add up all the numbers in cells B2 through B10. Here's how the function works step by step. Sum, this is the name of the function you're using. So very nicely, it gives you the entire explanation, right? This is excellent. And it's given also a small example. So now you finish two prompts. One, you ask ChatGPT what functions it doesn't like. if you want to know the sum, or if you want to know, you can even get it a little more complicated. If you want to know the median, mode, all of that it will do. Second, you want a particular explanation, even that it does. Okay, so we are done with this. Now let's assume that I wanted to know, I have some numbers here. So this is 257 million, which was revenue of some, of a particular company, or all, assume that I'm selling courses, and that's the final number. And the cost, the expense was 216 million. So I want to know the profit. Assume that I don't know the formula. So now I'll tell ChatGPT. So I've given it the prompt, write an Excel formula to calculate the prompt, revenue is in B2 and cost is in C2. So it'll just simply say, this is the formula, B2 minus C2. So let's just copy paste that nicely. Oh, sorry, it's A2 minus B2. Okay, so now we change that to A2 minus B2. Okay, so the profit was 41,149,514. Okay, simple example. That's very clear. So you don't know any formula, you're stuck somewhere, just go to ChatGPT. In human language, you can plug it in right now. And it also gives you a neat explanation. Got it? Excellent. So now let's look at something else. I want to know, let's get a few more prompts. I want to know VLOOKUP. Let's check a few more simple commands. So I've kept a table here, and I've kept like just some courses and prices. So English course costs $10, maths course costs $15, science course costs $12. And I want to know, for instance, what does the science course cost, right? So assume that you didn't know VLOOKUP. For those of you who don't know VLOOKUP, Excel or Google Sheets has a very nice lookup. VLOOKUP is like vertical lookup. I think HLOOKUP could be horizontal lookup. Okay. Anyway, so from this, I want to know what the VLOOKUP does. So how do I look up a particular cell? So let's look at ChatGPT. Let's look at a prompt. So I'm going to say, write an Excel function to find the science marks in a cost. Science course cost. And return the cost. Let's look at. So it's also figured out very smartly that there should be a table with some marks and all of that, right? Sorry, there should be a table with all the costs. Okay, so let's now take up this formula. Yeah, so the science course name is science only. And A2 till B4. Yeah. Okay. Rest of it, you just keep it like that. You saw that? A2 to B4. And it's given the cost of science is 12. So we got that? Perfect. Now let's look at another prompt. Now let's say I have a simple email, right? I have a set of emails. I've kept a small sheet. First email is kevin@gmail.com. Second one is tom@yahoo.com. Third is nancy@gmail.com. I want to know all the first names, just the names. And maybe this could be even applied to hundreds of emails, thousands of emails, or 5,000 of emails. So I'm going to say the prompt is write an Excel function to extract all the text before the at symbol or in cell A2. Write an Excel function to extract the okay, let's look at this. Okay, so it's given this very, very neat that. Okay. Left A2, find ampersand A2 minus 1. Cool. So it's got, and we've gotten all of them here. Clear? Is everybody clear till here? Awesome. Now, very good. Now let's look at something else. Now I want to know how do I find unique values in a list? So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go back to my sheet and let's look at something like this. So I have all these different types of courses. I have math, I have science, I have math, science, English. Now I want to know only the unique values in this list. Suppose when I say the prompt would be write an Excel function. Yeah, got it. So let's go back here. Yeah. So to find the unique, count the number of unique values in a list, it's the prompt is write an Excel function to count the number of unique values in the list. Yeah, last time I had not done the number of, okay, so just ignore that. To find the number of unique values in a list, you just simply say write an Excel function to count the unique number of unique values in a list. It's given till here, some product equals 1. I copied this code. I went back to my prompt and I went back to my Excel or Google Sheet, and then I kept this exact script and make sure it was only till A10, right? And you can see only 3 are there: maths, science, and English. That concludes the unique values. Now, our favorite, let's take it a little higher up. How do you do macros? How do you do macros? Macros are functions. You can write a lot more complicated scripts within your Microsoft Office, Excel. You can use VBA, or you can use Google App Scripts. So since I'm on Google Sheets, I'm going to use a small app script. So let's look at, suppose these are 2 people, Kevin and Nancy, and they owe me, let's say, $10 and $9. And I want to send them a reminder mail or an invoice saying, okay, you have Kevin, you pay 10, Nancy, you pay 9, right? So I'm just going to make some. I already sent these emails. So, okay. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go back and check what my prompts are. So I'm going to say, write a Google app script macro to send mails. So let's write that. So if you're trying a macro, you just simply say Excel macro. Oh, sorry. I didn't complete it. And here you can say, company X, take the value of X from column A, send to the email address in column B. Got it? Okay, so let's look at this. So it's going to beautifully generate the entire app script. Macro looks very simple. And if you don't know too much of coding, don't worry. All you have to do is just copy this. And how do I place it in my tab? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to simply say, okay, go to extensions, app scripts. So I had already put this, but you can sort of delete all of this. Or let's just do a new app script. So I'll say rename test to app script. I'm going to call it reminder. Okay. So the entire app script has come out here, and I'm just going to go ahead and run this. Now it'll ask me to log in because it's going to be really sending from j@pixeltest.com. And I've already logged in. So you probably have not seen that prompt. Let me just show you the live email. So let me just show you the emails. Yeah. So macros did run, and the mail was sent to Nancy. You owe the company $9, and the mail was sent to Kevin too. And I did this an hour ago, so that mail is also there, right? That's it. That concludes a session on how to use basic ChatGPT and Excel. All right, cool. So we have a little more syllabus. So what we're going to cover is how to use prompts to make a little bit of nice PowerPoint, right? So let's look at some PowerPoint prompts. So ChatGPT is very powerful, and you can use it for PowerPoint, or also I think in Mac it's called Keynote, and for Google it's called Google Slides, or I guess Google Presentation, right? So let's say, and Copilot, Microsoft is coming up with Copilot. I don't know if it's already on, but depending on when you're watching this, it should come up live and it'll be really nice. So again, you can create your ChatGPT account via email, Gmail, Microsoft account. So let's say I create this prompt. So let's give it this. I've deleted all of that. So let's say I click in the chat. So I'm a history teacher, and I am interested in the role of India in World War I. Please write presentation events for about 10 slides. That's it. I'm just making 10 slides. Okay. And now ChatGPT is going to come up with some very nice headlines. Excellent, right? So these are about 10, 11 slides. Awesome. Great. Can you please elaborate on each of these with a few bullet points? And also add the role of, let's say I'm saying also in the presentation, please have a dedicated slide. Okay. Got it. Okay. So, and see, it also very nicely added Mahatma Gandhi in slide 10, which was not there before, right? So that'll be very useful. So now what you can do is you can copy this and you can get them quickly into a presentation. So, so let me go ahead and copy this, guys. So I'm going to make a new presentation. I'm going to be using it in Google presentation, but you guys can use it for, Microsoft presentation or Keynote, as the case might be. Google presentation, I mean Google Slides, okay? All right. So here I've sort of manually pasted these, but there's also neat ways to import from doc to this. So here's the title, and here's some of the slides, and you can actually beautify them using the simple themes that come up. Got it? So with that, we come to the conclusion of this session, and we'll come up with more awesome topics as the case might be. Please feel free to email us what you need. Cool.